Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Stern and Spiegel LLP 5168-731-683. Let us solve your problems. And by Tiffany Dry Cleaners, environmentally safe, will pick up and deliver within West Hempstead and surrounding areas. 718-309-5222. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan. And hey, Norm, what's going on?
It's going to be pretty terrific weather out there today.
Terrific. It's the thunderstorms are coming. The humidity is up. It's not the greatest. It was 92 degrees yesterday. Boy, it would have been great again to go to the pool. And again, I drive by, and I'm telling you, I drive by 5 times. I don't see any activity. I don't know what's going on. Norm, do you have any information? We're just the community is desperate for information.
So I called the commissioner's office. It's the commissioner of Parks and Recreation, and these guys have nothing to say. I mean, we spoke to 2 people in their office. One said they'd be opening sometime in the summer, which was like no information at all. The other one was supposed to get back to me. I mean, I asked for both pools. The interior pool, what was going on there, because they gave out a big contract and nothing happened. And then outside, it's dry as a bone. So who knows?
Yeah, and they're waiting for sand, let alone for a filtration system. You know, it is so nuts. It's like, if you realize that there was a shortage of these parts, why postpone it? Or, I mean, do something.
And again, how about you just tell us what's going on? It's like, it's okay, okay, you don't have it, something's wrong, it's getting in the way, whatever. Just tell people. Why is this so difficult?
Yeah, it's a secret. It's top secret. They can tell us, but then they'd have to kill us. So
exactly.
They're clearly not going to do that. So that's the end of that.
Yeah, and you know what? For those of you who haven't yet seen it, we have an amazing Instagram, just really highlighting, this huge issue. So we would urge you to visit our Instagram account and take a look at what's going on with the pool or lack thereof. It's really a mess.
We should put up one of those signs or a countdown clock, like how many days has it been since the pool was open or something. Put it up on the website like that. So
yeah, I'm ready to just run my garden hose there. It's really nuts. So. Crazy story in the news yesterday about this road rage incident in Manhattan, but it did take place with someone local from Franklin Square. Apparently there was a fender bender, I believe in Manhattan, and the person from Franklin Square got out of his car. He slashed the tires of the other person. The other person had like 3 children and his girlfriend in the car. When the guy slashed the tires, the other one hit the gas and then pinned the other driver against the building, and he died.
Right. And they're going to prosecute this guy.
Well, he was charged with manslaughter and.
Just for the record, anybody slashes my tires, I'm going to pin them against the wall. That's what people do. When you threaten your family with a knife running around your car like that, I mean, this is going to happen.
Yeah,
Look, it's hot out. We understand everybody's stressed, but look, ask yourself a question. If somebody, cuts you off, gives you the universal gesture of goodwill, ask yourself whether it's really worth it. You're going to find yourself in one of these situations.
Yeah, and in this case, it's cars that were stopped. In Newsday today, there was a story about the redistricting of the 4th Congressional District, and right now, D'Esposito is there. Norm, do you have any information on that?
I have no information. I have no idea how they figure this stuff out. Every once in a while you hear about somebody who's getting their district redrawn, and it either works against the Republicans or against the Democrats, and everybody has a story about it. But
well, in this particular case, I think it's the Republicans who have the edge, but it's the Democrats who are looking to kind of take the advantage. And to change the redistricting that was done, I think, for the 2022 elections, and they're trying to to change that again. And there's an appeals process by the Republicans.
Right, it always ends up in court. At the end of the day, they're back in court.
And I skimmed the article a little bit, and some judge decided that the Democrats are going to attempt to redistrict this. I actually took a look at the map of this, and compared to some congressional districts, you will see that look like a snake wrapped itself around like 14 neighborhoods. This is actually a pretty coherent district.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much they're going to be able to do here. They're playing around the edges at the end of it. I suspect that, honestly, it's not going to make a lot of difference in the congressional elections, but
it usually doesn't.
No, this is just politics as usual.
Yeah,
and,
as usual.
It's whoever's in power carves it up, and the next group carves it back up again. It's always just a big mess.
Let's take a moment to hear a word from our friends over at Tiffany Dry Cleaners.
All right.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
And so the mortgage rates are back up.
Yeah, so the national average jumped to almost 7% or 6.9%, and last year it was 5.5%, so, a pretty dramatic difference. Certainly it's going to have an impact on housing, but in Nassau County, housing is still strong. The median house average price is $665,000, so are mortgage rates going to actually have an impact on West Hempstead?
Not one bit, I don't think.
Okay.
Because I grew up with 16% mortgage rates under Carter. I remember what pain really feels like, and this is still doable for a lot of families. There seems to be like a waiting list for people who want homes in West Hempstead, so I don't think it's going to impact.
Yeah, I see a lot of houses transitioning over the last month or so. People moving in, people moving out. So I think, West Hempstead is a desirable area.
And the summertime is big for this. People have the kids starting school in the fall, so they want to be in place before then. Look, there was the news story the other day that inflation only rose 3% over whatever the last period was. I don't see this changing much. If inflation is still going up, no matter how small it is, it means the interest rates are likely to continue climbing at least a little bit. Listen, this is just how it is.
Yeah, it's...
Well, that's considered pretty good because the national goal is 2% inflation rate. So if they are at 3%, they're doing pretty well compared to where we've been. So we're on the right track.
One can only hope. Gas prices looks like it's almost hovering back down to $3.
Crazy numbers.
This is not a bad situation, and perhaps it's time to gas up. And speaking of gassing up, I think everyone may have gotten this flyer that was issued by Nassau County, the Storm Emergency Preparedness, and one of the things that they talk about is gassing up and making sure that your car tank is full in case there's a hurricane and you need to go somewhere. But one of the interesting things are, and it's probably going to be hard to see this so much on the screen, and we'll try to get a full page of this, is it has these evacuation routes, which are primarily from the South Shore. You had your A, B, C, D routes. E, forget about it. You're toast. And all these routes kind of just lead to nowhere. I don't really understand. Like, if there was really an evacuation.
Well, it's a problem because it's an island. Long Island is an island, and there's just so many routes you're going to be able to get out on. And I think it really mainly applies for the Long Beach, Atlantic Beach, Jones Beach area, all the way to Fire Island. Those guys are in major trouble. They've got to get out.
Yeah, but here's the point. If I want to get the heck off of Long Island,
forget it.
I'm not going to the Nassau Coliseum. I'm trying to go somewhere else.
You'd have to move the rats out of the way first from the Coliseum so you have someplace to go. But
if there's a hurricane, you want to go to JFK. You want to get your butt out of Long Island. That's the only way to go.
This needs to be rethought. Think about it. Even at the times when they were giving out free COVID testing at the Nassau Coliseum, there was literally lines that backed up for miles and you couldn't even go and do it. This is such a fakakta route. I really have no.
Do we need to define that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the audience understands the implications right there.
Oh man, what a road to nowhere! Really, it is frustrating, but then again, it is hurricane season, so you should be prepared. Know your in all seriousness, know your evacuation routes and what you would do in case of an emergency. And
the typical thing to do is to start stocking up. Batteries are impossible to get when there's an emergency like a hurricane. Water, fresh water, get some water put aside in your garage. Just the typical stuff of flashlights at work and radios at work.
Yeah. So Norm, on the entertainment front, we got a bunch of things going on with Echo Pool, right? I mean, Echo Park, I should say.
Well, there are two that are important locally. There's the Hempstead Free Children's Summer Shows. It's Boone Circus on July 20th at 10 a.m. in the Echo Park, and also the Darlene Graham's Sing on the Beach show, Echo Park, on July 27th.
That's great. So, it's really fantastic that the town of Hempstead has these free events. I'm sure there'll be some concerts, as there are every year, and we'll bring you that information.
Right, and that's super local, but Eisenhower Park always has stuff happening.
Yeah, and this Sunday is Harry Chapin Day at 3:30 at Eisenhower Park. I know the story of Harry Chapin is more of a Long Island story, but to me it's a very personal story. Could be for a large segment of our audience don't even know who Harry Chapin is. Harry Chapin was a rock folk singer in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. And he passed away. He died in a car accident on the LIE on his way to Eisenhower Park to give a free concert. And as it turned out, I was actually on my way to the concert.
Wow.
When I heard about the information. As I'm on the LIE, and it's kind of like one of those things you remember, where you were when, JFK got shot or Reagan. Terrible, terrible story. But Harry was all about giving back to Long Island. He started, and I'll bring a prop over here. He started Long Island Cares, and here's a picture of Harry and a T-shirt from one of the free concerts. I also have a bunch of albums. We'll see if we can get those up on the show. And this Long Island Cares is one of the most important organizations to give and distribute food throughout Long Island. And Harry and now his family have continued to give back and be involved in this charity. And it's really incredible that that the county is involved. There happens to be some controversy that was in Newsday today about the top billing for Blakeman versus a local legislator, as there always is. But putting that part aside, if you have an opportunity to go to Eisenhower Park Sunday afternoon and listen to some amazing music, here's your opportunity.
I plan on making a major donation to Long Island Cares. Major. Because I'm winning Powerball this weekend.
Ah, there you go. Well, you know what? Powerball is up to $850 million.
And I know exactly how to spend it.
I thought you were giving it to the school board to balance their budget.
I may give some money to them.
Wasn't that your last plan?
I'll cover the budget for 1 year.
So you're going to cover everything
problem.
with this winnings, and it's the third highest in history. It's a national Powerball, so go out, get your tickets. And I think that's going to wrap. What's that? No. What else are you going to pay for?
I think
Can you pay for a
number.
printer? We need a printer. I mean, it's anyway. That's going to wrap it up for this week in West Hempstead. Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Dan. I hope everyone has a great long weekend. And if you have to cool off, go to Jones Beach. Don't go to Echo Pool. Take care.
Enjoy the summer.
Thanks, everybody. Good luck with the math on the lottery. If you'd like to sponsor our program once you win the lottery, like Stern and Spiegel and Tiffany Dry Cleaners, please reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.